BP says it won't proceed with controversial plans to drill for oil in the Great Australian Bight. The plans to begin exploration drilling off South Australia's west coast have been rejected twice on environmental grounds. However, Managing Director Claire Fitzpatrick says the project now does not line up with the company's strategic goals. Wilderness Society State Director Peter Owen says BP has made the right decision.
I think they should be commended. The Great Australian Bight is a totally inappropriate place to be trying to turn into an oil field. It's extremely rough, it's extremely remote. The risks associated with drilling out here are very high.
Vulnerable rooming house residents are paying a large proportion of their income on rent. Research by the Tenants Union of Victoria shows only 2 out of 108 houses, analysed between January and July, were affordable for low-income earners. Single rooms are typically available for rent in rooming houses. Tenants Union Policy Officer Yael Caspi says people often have few options.
Rooming house residents are particularly vulnerable because they have very few housing options. It's generally an option of last resort. They have nowhere else to live.
The political turmoil, which has hung over Brazil for months, came to a head yesterday when the President Dilma Rousseff was impeached. The President of the Brazilian Community Council of Australia, Mauci Nascimento, says that Brazilian people in Australia are watching developments closely.
The community is very much divided over it. On the one hand, you've got people who think that it's very unfair with what has been done to her, and they think that there were a lot of political motivations and all these kinds of things. They're calling it a coup and all these kinds of things. And you also have the ones who believe this was all done under the Constitution, and it is a legitimate process.
Richard Azamo came to Australia in 2012, escaping the persecution of gay people in Nigeria, where he was in grave danger due to his work in HIV prevention. Last year, he was awarded the Young Achievers Award at Sydney's Honour Awards for his continued work combating HIV amongst Australia's Nigerian population and in the wider LGBTI community. With nominations now open for the 2016 Honour Awards, Richard says this is an important opportunity to recognise the hard work of people in the LGBTI community.
Ever since I moved to Australia and I've gotten involved in the sector, in the HIV sector, I see a lot of young people, even the older people as well, doing a lot of job, in our community, and that's a big deal.
It had been 62 long years since the Western Bulldogs held the Premiership Cup. But on Saturday, following 3 hard-fought wins against the odds, the Doggies pulled off the impossible